Hell yeah.
Thank you for listening to our interview with Steve Kupryk. Steve joined the Marine Corps in 2007 and was assigned to 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines Weapons Company as an O331 machine gunner. Steve deployed to Afghanistan twice with 2-8, once in 2009 for Operation Khanjar, and then again in 2011 to Marjah. After serving honorably on his combat deployments, Steve had plans to continue his career with the Marine Corps as an officer, but was denied entry into the MESEP program due to their tattoo policy. Returning home to Rutherford, New Jersey, Steve rekindled his love for professional wrestling and with the help of his friends was introduced to a New Jersey native WWE Superstar. With Steve's drive, work ethic, and the right people in his corner, he earned the opportunity to become a professional wrestler with the WWE in their NXT division and soon moved up to their Smackdown roster. Steve currently wrestles for Impact Wrestling as Steve Maclin. I hope you all enjoy our conversation. Take care. Semper Fi.
A shitbag. And then I gave you permission earlier.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, cool.
All right, we're hot, dude. All right, Steve, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
How you been?
I've been great. It's good to meet face to face, even though it's on a Zoom.
Yeah, this is the new age face to face.
Yeah.
You know, you can't see people in person anymore.
No, like
I would
that 2-8 reunion.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, I was talking about, I was actually talking to my brother about like doing these interviews, these podcasts like through Zoom. And I was like, man, I honestly don't know if I could like talk with guys just through audio. I was like, you almost have to, I know we're not here in person, like chopping it up, but you can almost read someone better when you're seeing, when you can see them and see their reaction to how you're talking and the topics you're bringing up and stuff. It's just, I don't know. It's weird, man. It's so easy to lose track of time doing these because it's like you're just sitting across from one another having a conversation. But it's good, man. It's good having another fellow 2-8 guy on the show. It's hard getting the boys together. So like this anyway, but
well, it'd be good to do it face to face one day and have a good little shindig and hit record and everybody just school circle it up and hang out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be dope, man.
So yeah, man, kind of want to hear, I know obviously you were in weapons around, served with us around the same time, went on 2009, 2011 deployment. So you would have been technically a junior guy to us, but you were with weapons. You were with weapons the whole time, right?
Yeah, I was weapons, Cat 1 and Cat Red, the entire both of them. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to get into that or you want to talk?
Yeah, man. Well, you guys, everybody got back from Iraq when we got put with 2-8. So we had about a month and a half of downtime when 2-8 was getting back from Iraq and we're prepping the barracks and all that. And then Advon came in and then that was May to July. And then right after leave, once everybody got back from leave, everybody hit the ground running. It was Boot City for everybody coming back from Iraq. I'm from Ramadi. And it was just, it was a good time, man, because I expected so much worse from seniors. Like I remember sitting in my barracks room with a baseball bat kind of to the side, just kind of waiting to be hazed. And it was just one of those moments where I'm like, all right, motherfuckers. Like, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But I'm taking somebody with me down. Like, you heard the horror stories, and nothing ever really happened. Like, we did the stupid fuck games here and there, police calling with everything, and then people throwing. Like, it was the normal. It was just getting your honorary badge and from being a boot, and it's just the way it is, man. And it was
Yeah,
fun.
the rite of passage stuff.
Yeah, and it was
So you're-
worth it because it really made you appreciate who was like your senior. And I know they say there's no senior lance corporals and whatnot, but there was just whoever was just deployed. Like, they've done something that I haven't done before. I know no better because in wrestling, compared to Marine Corps, it's very similar. Where it's like if you're green in a ring, it's the same as being a boot in the military. You don't know any better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Dude, there's so many good stories. So you're from New Jersey, right?
Yeah,
You're born
from New Jersey, yeah.
You're born in New Jersey? Yeah, okay. So you went to Paris Island?
Yep.
Yep. Good stuff. That's where the real Marines are made. We always joke about that.
I've heard about that. Yeah,
Jose's a Hollywood boy.
Were you guys disappointed with boot camp too when you went? Like, you expected more?
No, I got my ass kicked by the drill instructor. Yeah. I was with I don't know if you remember Davila.
Yeah, Davila.
Yeah. Me and him were in the same boot camp platoon, and Heston, who I think wasn't with Yetis. I don't know if you remember Heston, short guy from Washington State, chubby guy. But yeah, no, I wasn't let down. And that's another thing too. I hear that from a lot of guys now. It's like boot camp wasn't shit. I was like, careful, man. That's lineage you're talking about right there. That's transcendent. Not everyone's experience. At least my experience was tough, man. Like all the I think we had one drill instructor whose background was in recon, did the invasion. There's a lot of early invasion guys that were still in those roles. And so they kind of had that instilling the fear in you, like, this shit's real. This shit's not some fucking game. And then, I don't know. But I mean, that was my experience at least. And then we had mountains. Unlike you guys, you had fucking sand fleas and fucking sand, really.
Physically, I mean, I kind of prepared myself for boot camp like 6 months before I left. Like, I was running miles every day and doing pull-ups. Like, my PFT was, I competed for the Ironman. I think I got like second or third because some homie like knocked out 30 some pull-ups and I was like 25 or 6 or whatnot. And I was ready in that regard. I honestly, I love boot camp. I thought it was hilarious just seeing the way other people would react to like the drill instructors fucking with them. I'm just like, this is a comedy show. Like, I get it. We got to be serious about what we're doing here. And I understood like the process of what, like, I was reading books about fucking boot camp in the Marine Corps, like trying to learn everything I could. So I wasn't some idiot showing up with like shoulder long hair, just asking for it. No, I didn't show up with a pre-shaved head already, but like, it wasn't, I don't think it was anything too challenging if you knew what you were getting into.
That's why I kind of tell people now too. That's why I asked that question just on that, just because Rash was actually always across from me every day. And then Marrero, who was in my platoon as well, he was actually my rack mate. So going behold, we landed in the same platoon and weapons, and it's kind of crazy to just kind of look back at it because it was just more of like I prepared so much for it. Weekends I'd go party at my friends' colleges or my cousins' colleges, and then I just had my good hurrah before I left, and it was good to do. But yeah, it was just more of that like letdown because we were just chatting about it earlier before I was doing this, because she's like, get your brain going on some ideas of what you want to talk about or what comes to mind and just get everything fresh. So yeah.
Well, and it's weird too, like you bringing that up is like, that's why I love doing these. Like me and Herrera talk about it off mic, and we're like, whenever you have like one of your boys on there, like they may bring up a story that you haven't thought about, and all of a sudden it just rehashes these memories about like events, that took place, and you're like, holy shit, I forgot about that. And sometimes it's funny and sometimes it's, messed up or whatnot. But yeah, dude, it was weird for me. Like, I know a lot of you guys, like Herrera, so many of our guys, like, from 2-8 went to boot camp with guys that were in the boot camp platoon. That didn't happen with me. I think I've told this story on a podcast before, but I actually I went to boot camp as an open contract for whatever reason. they couldn't. I wanted infantry 100%. And my recruiter's like, yeah, man, you just get down there, you'll be an open contract. So there'll be a point towards the end of boot camp, me being an idiot, not knowing how this works. He's like, you will go to, pick your MOS or your job, and you can let them know what you want. And it doesn't work like that. All the open contracts, they assign you shit. I left boot camp as supply. It's on my DD 214. I have that. And like, this was, I forget, maybe we had like a month left, and I'm writing this fucking recruiter letters, dude. I'm like, I will leave. I'm like, I'm not being supply. Nothing against supply, that we need every job. But my senior was an assaultman, 0351. I didn't even know what the fuck that was at the time, but I'm like, talking to him in private, like a lot. And I'm like, you got to help me I'm trying to be infantry. Like, that's what I signed up for. That's what I want to do. That's why I joined this branch. Like, I'm not an idiot. And he's like, all right. And he's like working shit behind the scenes. And he comes up to me, like, when we're getting fitted for our uniforms, and he's like, I can't do anything. He's like, your recruiter's going to have to help you when you go home after boot camp. So luckily, I got home to do recruiter's assistance after boot camp, and they straightened it out. And he's like, yep, you're going to show up for SOI. You're going to go in the admin. They're going to get you in the infantry. And I was like, holy shit, thank God. But I ended up, because of that, there was like a 2-week delay. And that's where I first met Sharp. We were in this like holding platoon before our company even picked up. Sharp, Burdette, a lot of the weapons echo guys were in there, but nobody from my boot camp. I literally knew no one, and I had no one in 2-8 or anyone I knew. And I'm just like, damn, I feel like that would have been kind of a different experience going, like you said, you and Rash were super tight and stayed close. And I think that I missed out on that because I never had any dudes I went through like the full process with into that, but kind of envy that a little bit. But
that was one of the cool things too. Like when 2A, when we're getting assigned to companies, like everybody kind of went their different ways, but we're all still kind of together. So like once Rash went to Fox, we're like, shit, now I gotta go meet new people.
Yeah.
Type thing. Because like you would hear each other every now and then, like if you're doing gun drills and stuff or walking around by barracks and stuff. But yeah, man, or just partying during the weekends where usually that's how it went. But
yeah,
man.
No, that's what's awesome. I love doing that. Like, especially if you shared a barracks with like another company was on the other side, you can just walk around the other side of the barracks and shoot the shit with those guys.
They're gonna be special for the second month. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know this was the thing. What's the choices? And some guys were going LAR out on West Coast. I was like, oh man, I'd like to go to Cali. And of course, I'm just being stupid because I wanted to go out to Cali. I've never been there before.
Right.
And then I forgot who it was. I want to say one of the instructors just told me, he's like, hey, you might really like machine guns. And like, once he kind of got that in my head of just seeing the 50 cal, the Mark and the 240, I was just like, okay, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I just, man, I fell in love with machine guns.
Hell yeah.
Accuracy by volume, man.
No, you got to love them.
I told people I got rejected by
by the
31s community. They said I was too small. They said I was too small, which is crazy because all through boot camp, I was a fat body, and I really wasn't. I was like in great shape. I just, my, fat body composition standard bullshit.
I was that way through the entire time of the Marine Corps. I always got messed with the BCP program. No matter what, I was always part of every year, even in the fleet.
Yeah. Same thing, man. I had a 1809 3-mile run, like recorded. I was like, I'm not out of shape. I'm not fat. Like I got a 300 PFT pretty much. And there's like, you're fat. Crazy. You're gonna lose weight.
That body on medical sitting on duty somewhere, just waiting to get discharged out of the Marine Corps, and he's not getting messed with at all. So that's the way it works.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but those standards are met, and I don't know if they still are, but like I forget who it was in 2-8. We had some freaking like pretty jacked dudes, like thick bodies, but just they look like world strongmen, like just muscular as hell. They weren't out of shape. They could PT. But they're over on the scales and like the body tape shit. And they're like, nope, you're in the PT and 2 or 3 times a day, whatever, BCP platoon or whatever, making these guys do remedial PT. And I'm like, holy shit, like this guy isn't what? This is wrong, man. You're doing him dirty.
We had to go weigh in one time at the company office in Captain Snipes at that time. This is 2009, 2008, 2009. And our chain of command was, and weapons was just, it was the fucking best. From top to bottom, even First Sergeant Payne, he was a pain in the ass, but like he got the job done and we were ready for that deployment. And that's the one thing I'm grateful for. But Captain Snipes, one time I'm weighing in and he goes, "Get the fuck out of here." And he comes out of it, he literally walks out of it, like, "Get the fuck out of here." Because I'm waiting, I'm like, "All right, you heard him." I used to see him at the Area 2 gym all the time, and he'd be on the Stairmaster just going with his friggin' flak on. And that's where I got like my free time a lot of time during the week. If I didn't really like to hang out in the barracks because that's when I didn't want to get messed with as a boot. So I would just go to the gym, and I love the gym anyway. And I just always was in there. And it was just one of those things. So it was just funny to just kind of have that moment. Like,
yeah. Yeah, you got cleared. So
yeah, nobody messed with me after that. So it was great.
Hell yeah. So what did you think about, we've talked a few times with 2-8 guys about when we found out in CAX that we were actually getting slated for the Afghan push. Cause a lot of dudes, even our senior guys that were kind of sticking around to see if they were an employee or not, were like all thinking we're going back to Iraq. So they kind of, moved on or did different shit. And then we find out there that this big surge is coming and we're on it. What was going through your mind being a junior guy for that?
Fucking rock hard dick. Just
Yeah.
I remember that friggin' entire battalion formation. It wasn't even like a formation. It was just a big fucking muddle huddle. And I remember, I don't know, the word, it might have been different that you guys got, but we kind of got told like, "Oh, we're going to Afghanistan. Like they're just going to keep telling us Ramadi, but we're going to Afghanistan." We're like, "Oh," I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'm prepared for whatever we're going to do," because I've never been either. So I remember CAX though, and that was one of the coolest moments. It just motivated, I think, everybody, at CAX. And it was one of those things where everybody just kind of like just dialed in a little bit more and get their shit together, especially in like Mountain Town there. Like it was one of those things that just dialed everybody in and got everybody excited. And then we got back. And then of course, after CAX had another little, 2-week field op, I forget, from like February timeframe. And then we got ready for May, but we were just kind of sitting around a lot. I know you guys were.
No, man,
Yeah.
Fox got fucked. Fuck you,
Did
Fox.
you?
Yeah, man. Captain Son, he's like, we promise you, you're going to get more family time. And then, dude, we were in the fucking field. Were you on
that was
snow?
when we had the Frozen Chosen after CAX, right?
Shit.
Yeah, that was I remember that.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that was so bad. I feel bad even calling it that because I don't want to like disrespect, but it was bad, dude.
Yeah.
Like we had several dudes that got medevaced out for hypothermia, and like it's supposed to be like some like type of defense weak shit, but nobody's doing anything. We're just in holes trying not to freeze to death, dude.
I ate all
I
my.
remember people are like, you got to be up for a watch. Everybody's like, "Fuck this."
Yeah.
Which is
Okay.
after a while, we're like, why? Like, oh, that company's coming this way. And it's just like, let them take it. Fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah. There was no.
I thought like that op wasn't as bad as AP Hill. I thought AP Hill was a pain in the ass that year, or earlier before CAX, because it rained the entire time and it was freezing. I think that was like October, November.
Yep, it was cold there too. Yeah, that was shitty. It was funny. I won't draw it out too long, but like I don't know if you guys ended up going to this like little O course thing. This is a funny story about it's not really that funny, but like there was like this little puzzle type course, O course thing where it's like a problem solving course we went to, and there was one obstacle that they had like shut down because there was like a 6-foot pool of water. Like it was suspended over this pool of water and it was like monkey bar shit. And you just got to kind of like problem solve to get your guys and your gear across it. Well, it was shut down before we run this course, but before we leave, Rash is one of our junior guys. So we make him and another one of the junior guys like chicken leg fight hanging from these pull-up bars. Well, they both end up falling in the water. Rash turns purple. Like he got like instant hypothermia. He ends up being on bed rest for a couple days because he got sick as fuck from it. And he's like, "Dude, I still have problems like tingling in my toes from that." I'm like, "Sorry, dude. Sorry we made you do that."
Just hit that up with the VA.
Yeah.
Just claim it there.
Service connected there.
Yep. Fuck, man. Yeah, but to answer the question, yeah, no, CAX, when we got that word of Afghanistan, though, was just, I don't know. I was ready. I was excited. Just because it was different from what we were being told by all the senior guys with Ramadi, like, we're gonna go stand post for this many hours, we're gonna go this. Afghan, nobody had any idea what was going on. So
Yeah, and I'm kind of with you on that. Like you were saying, you know, as soon as that word got passed, I do think everybody kind of would just like kind of took a step back a little bit and was like, holy shit, like we need to, you know, we need to lock in on this because we didn't know what it was going to be like. I remember like being in the barracks watching YouTube videos like from like recon units or whatever units that had YouTube videos that were there already doing stuff. And I'm like, this might be, you know, this is going to be a little bit different than we were expecting. But yeah, so how did you feel when we showed up there to Leatherneck and that whole process?
what a trip getting there. That was the pain in the ass part. Manassas Air Force Base is a hidden gem in the military, I think, though. That place had the best mid rats.
Oh yeah. We ransacked that place, man. That chow hall. I stole so much snacks, man.
Does anyone know if that was is that like a duty station or is that a deployment?
I don't know, but
Probably
it's
both.
a hidden gem. I would love to have been stationed there because you do not. What is your job?
It can't be much. I remember like hearing about like the people that were stationed there, like going out in town. I'm like, is this not like kind of like a hostile area still? And people were like, yeah, it kind of is, but we can like go and don't get messed with. I was like, holy shit. I was like, this place seemed and felt like a base where like shit that the military does that you're not supposed to do about like due to service members happens here. Just like all these weird buildings. You're like, what the fuck? Like these aren't barracks. What is this?
It was like a Chernobyl type friggin' place.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Hidden in the mountains and it's nuts. But
they had like a sweet ass gym. Their chow hall was the shit.
They had the bar.
They had a bar. They had
Marines were allowed to drink at.
No, they had a no shit like movie theater. I don't know. It was awesome.
It was crazy. But yeah, and I remember going from because the first tour was the travel was different from second in 2011, but 09 I remember went from Cherry Point to Maine to somewhere we landed to refuel, and then to Manassas to was it Kandahar, I think.
Yeah,
I think we went through Kandahar, and then we were there for not even a day, and then it was Kandahar to Leatherneck, which was that Bastion?
It was
No, what was the name before it was Leatherneck?
No, it was Leatherneck. We drove to Bastion. Well,
yeah, you're right.
Fox did. I don't remember about the other companies. Damn, I can't remember going to.
No, but the name of it was before Leatherneck. It had a name because the Brits ran that place.
Yeah, but I think Leatherneck was connected to what it may have been Bastion. The part that they called Leatherneck was like added on.
Yeah. It was Leatherneck Bastion, and then we drove to Dwyer.
Gotcha. Yeah, we did the same.
Dude, because I remember there was like a shitty chow hall close to our tent, but like if you wanted to go to the real chow hall, do you remember having to walk like miles?
Yeah, that's where our phones were too.
Yeah.
To go home, you went to the Brit side.
Yeah, dude. And that was like a hike, dude. I was like, what the fuck? Like, are they even ready for us? No, was the answer, but
I remember getting handed a sledgehammer by friggin' Master Sergeant in our company, and Master Sergeant Knapp, he handed me a sledgehammer. He goes, go build your tents. As contractors are building the white tents, we're building those shitty ass green friggin' tents we slept in not even a day, and then we had to move into the white tents like not even 2 days later. I'm like, what? Whatever. Whatever.
Let the games begin.
Green Weenie got us again.
Dude, the weirdest thing for us, like when we got there, I remember getting on like a passenger bus. Like everybody from the company or whoever they could fit was in this passenger bus off the flight line. Like no AC. We literally had our Ilbies and like whatever we brought, one sea bag and something else. And like literally everyone was packed window to window, and we're dying because it was so hot. It was so hot. I remember just being kind of shocked by that when we got there. I was like, I knew it was going to be hot, but I'm like, dude, we were about to heat stroke out before we even get into this tent.
Do you remember like just chugging water, like, and it'd be got like those big ass like 1.5 liters though. It's like a sip of water now was out of that bottle was gone instantly. And do you remember Hayborn?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so me and Hayborn was next to my we were cop mates, and that friggin' in that little white tent at Leatherneck. And once we started, because we were there for about 3 weeks, almost 3-4 weeks before we even left. And it just what a shit show. But we would just it was just you sweat. We'd go PT, do random med PT, Kazovac style PT, full gear, everything, and then come back in. You're just hydrating, and all right, we're gonna go do it again in a few hours. It's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, dude, in that moon dust, dude, there was like a foot deep of that, and you couldn't even like it was the fucking worst. That shit would stick to your sweat. You would just be caked with this flour sand.
And then even I remember because it was an 18-hour convoy from Leatherneck to Dwyer. And I remember I was up in the turret the whole time facing outward. I had the full-on mask going, goggles were down, and I was still caked. And after a while, I racked out. I was like, we have enough vehicles in this convoy. I was like, if something happens, we'll be okay. There's a sandstorm right now. I don't think the fucking Taliban's coming out right now. Just situational awareness. I think we're good.
We're in the middle of a desert. It's pitch dark.
I'm so glad they made us wait about a month and a half before that operation. They knew it was too damn hot for anybody to be fucking functional on a patrol, man. There's no way we could have done it just straight off the freaking airplane. No way.
Being in the turret friggin' for so many hours was just oof. And then once night hit, that was just like, as soon as nighttime hit, I got out and I was like, somebody's got to come up here. I was like, it's too, like, it was just be freezing.
Are you talking about the drive from Leatherneck to Dwyer?
Just even that whole deployment. But that drive itself though was oof.
16 hours.
Yeah, it was 16. Like 16. I want to say it was I remember 18, but if it could have been 16.
Dude.
It took so long because the wrecker had to come out and drag everyone out who got stuck. That's what took so long. I was in the turret for 16 hours, and after that, I couldn't walk for 3 days because my legs were so sore. I remember getting to Dwyer, getting my shower shoes to go take a shower or find like a head, and I got my ass chewed out by some fucking, I think it was like the base sergeant major, man. And he found me in the fucking dark, dude. And it's like pitch black out there, dude. You found me, chewed my ass out for having silkies on and shower shoes. And I was just like, look, I just got off this convoy. I really need to shower, man. He's like, who's your janitor, man? I want to go talk to him right now. Luckily, he let me go, but that was like some random ass shit. I was like, what the fuck? Some sergeant major in the dark.
To randomly fast forward in that deployment, it was me, Plutz, Rose. We were all, I know you probably remember Plutz and Rose, but we had to go in a convoy to refuel one of our trucks and we had to get parts or something that was at Dwyer as we were coming through the western side of the desert. And we had to go there one time. We go to the chow hall and we got chewed out because we haven't shaved, we haven't showered, we're covered. We wanted to just get food, do what we had to do and get out of there because we weren't staying there. We had nowhere to stay. So we go to the chow hall and instantly, as soon as we walk in, who are you Marines with? We're just like, God fucking damn it. We're like, dude, we're just on our way. We're coming in, we're coming out. And then, of course, we get in there. Nobody bothers us then after that. But then we hear people, of course, saying, oh, my God, steak and lobster again. I'm like, you sons of bitches are getting steak and lobster and fire every damn night. And I got to eat a shitty-ass veggie omelet. Fuck you, fucking pogue.
Yeah, dude. I love the return trip home, man, because it was November time frame. So it was like every chow hall meal was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
They had a good gym there too towards the end on the way out of that first one because they built the airfield finally.
Did
they?
Yeah, they finally built that airfield towards the end of the deployment.
Dude, yeah, I remember how weird that was when we were coming back. I was like, holy shit, like everything was upgraded. Yeah. Like it was upgraded. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, how did we miss out on this shit? Like everybody's gonna have cushy ass shit.
You were fighting the war, bro.
We had Humvees to start the deployment. Two came to rip with us, and then they weren't allowed to use the Humvees. They had to have the MRAPs and the friggin' the 6x.
Yeah, so Dom
was ripping with us, and they said, no, we can't ride an Humvees. And we're like, fuck you, this is what you get.
Did they get bigger trucks?
No, they got all MRAPs and 6x. What a rib.
Yeah. I know Dom was kind of telling us when we talked to him just about how just that truck situation was so fucked up for you guys on getting your shit taken from you and like having to use the Humvees and
It was yeah, it was shitty, but at the same time, I appreciate it like more. I don't know, I appreciate it. Granted, the Humvees aren't the best thing to deter an IED, but I don't know. We just lived out of those trucks once we were like once we hit the ground running. We were on the western side of all you guys, and we just scanned that desert. And then I know Dom's entire platoon was on the east side of the desert, so they had like the good soft sand desert. We had the good hard compact out in the middle of nowhere, and it was yeah, we were just pretty much recon for 2-8, if you kind of think of it that way, where anything that came out to us, we push back to you guys and you intersect or vice versa.
damn.
But,
That's weird. I almost feel like I didn't know, maybe just stuck in my bubble. I didn't know we had anyone on the west side.
yeah, it was always us on that ridge line because you had
Yeah.
that green zone and you had the snakehead of the river, and we
Yeah.
would always be up on the top of the ridge line, and our patrols always just went down to the riverside. We'd try to take contact here and there, and then see what we can stir up, and then
Did you guys deal with a lot of IEDs over there or?
yeah, once those fuckers were smart, man. They caught on what we were doing, and like kind of us being stupid Marines, we dig up holes, bury our trash, and burn it, and that was our burn pits and whatnot at night. But I think they caught on like how we were sitting our cordons up with the Vicks, and we always had a few to the rear, but like we were spread out pretty well on the ridge line where they couldn't pinpoint where we were, but they're pretty good. It's their land. I would think they know it. And yeah, after a while, when we hit that western desert, it was Rose's truck. I was surprisingly lead Vic, and then everything kind of went behind like this way because just so happened to be that way that day, and that's when their truck got hit, and that's when we started. Every time on a patrol going back up to the western desert, if we left that area, we started just mine sweeping.
Yeah.
Friggin' big ass, those big yellow jugs, friggin' pressure plates. They're smart, man. And then probably I want to say about like month 5 is when they finally gave us an EOD team. After you hit a few IEDs, like, oh shit, maybe we should give them some fucking EOD.
Yeah, they probably
Makes
deserve
sense.
one.
Yeah.
They found enough on their own, so
Yeah. But man, different times, man.
so turning into the 11 pump, I obviously didn't go, I got out after the 2009 pump. I mean, how did you feel about going into that? I talked with some of my junior guys about that, and I don't know how that would feel as being, that being your first deployment and it being, about as real of a deployment as you can get, and then coming home and being like, holy shit, like I got to do this again, except with new guys now that don't know anything that I've just learned.
So after my first tour, Stroud, me and him were in the truck the entire deployment together in 09, and we wanted a cross deck just to stay there. I was like, why go home? Like I don't know. It was just weird. We just wanted to stay. Like if we could stick together, help these guys do what we have to do, we could just stay here because I'm not going to do any better at home. I'd rather just do my job here. And of course, with the casualties we took, we got it told like company wide and well, I would say unit wide. Nobody's allowed to cross deck. We're like, oh, okay, cool. But 2011 was different because when I got back, came back, did the normal, go to a school, get fit with your platoon itself, and then of course boots were getting shuffled everywhere. And going to M Glock was probably one of my favorite times in the Marine Corps, just because it was the all-star team of all machine gunners from every unit in the area or that were reserves. And it was kind of cool because you just got to meet people from everywhere, or people that I already knew, which is even funnier. And you just kind of have like the all-star team of like a football team in a sense. That's just everybody's coming from the best area, and you're just learning even more on how to run a gun line instead of just doing it. Even though you knew a lot of the knowledge because we had good seniors, everybody bestowed a lot of knowledge on you. You're just learning how to just implement it as an actual leader instead of being behind the gun. So that was a lot of fun there too. A lot of good drinking times too, which was great too, going to Geiger, because you're kind of away from 2-8 when that like happens. You're like detached, so like you see them going to formation, you're just like, fuck you, I want to chow on this. Because a lot of times you were just on roller skates the entire time, just skating around all day, and it was good. But then when the work needed to get done, it was good. But 2011 was different because I got back from once I got done with MGlock, I found out my foot was broken. Had no clue. Had this big like I don't know, just like a ball on the inside ball of my foot, but like on top of it. So it just was bugging me. So I went to the doc one time. I was like, hey, can we just kind of get this looked at? It kind of hurts a lot of times when I run, my foot goes numb. He's like, sure, we'll go get x-rays. Find out my foot's broken. And I was like, well, fuck. So I'm on friggin' light duty for a long time. So I missed CACs. I missed majority of the buildup, which was kind of cool, but I still knew everybody in the platoon.
Dude,
and then once I got back, I was so happy I skated at it. I was like, fuck you, motherfucker.
Oh, fuck that, dude. That was like the worst CACs.
On the second.
They added 2 weeks to that. They added, we kept making fun of it because they called it the Chub 1 and Chub 2. You know, everyone bringing out every dick joke, but dude, that was a miserable. I almost died in that CACs from a sickness. I'm like, it's like literally a Star Wars scene, like an actual combined arms attack, and I'm coughing out my lungs, man, like dying, and I'm getting my ass chewed apart for not, you know, standing post and doing a debrief. That was a miserable fucking CACs.
I'm glad I missed that one then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a month off.
I had a month off from the barracks and I went home on comedy. It was great. I love it. But then Barone got me when he got back. He's like, oh, no, I'm making you do all the PT and everything. Like maybe take a PFT one day and then the next day was the CFT. I want to see if you could do this. I'm like, okay, fucking asshole. Blew it out of the water. And I'm just like, whatever, man. Like, you're not going to out PT me, you schooled out prick.
Me and my boy Josh Sheets, we make fun of him. Who is it? Is it Squidward? He looks like Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants. He's got that face like someone took a fart, and it's just like 24/7. He's always smelling it.
Like I knew he meant well. He was doing his job, but it was just one of those things where I was just like, just stop. So when he came in, everybody, because we had Gunny Crutcher, and Gunny Crutcher was the fucking man. He was a Marine, man. He was that old deployed Marine that was just ready to get out after a while. And then you get a schooled out Gunny and just a different end of the spectrum from one to the other. And it was just a learning experience on that end too.
Now, where were you in 2011? Did you end up going? No. Like, were you at PB Garrett at some point? I know I had run into Barone like toward the end of that deployment, right when Garrison was killed.
Yeah,
and I was trying to give him a debrief, letting him know what's up with the AO because we had been occupying that with PB Garrett, PB McKinley, and OP Mueller.
Mm-hmm. No, because we were attached pretty much to Fox and Golf coming down that friggin' because we were at was it Fob Hansen?
Yeah.
So we were constantly going up and down those roads. And I want to say, yeah, we were at Garrett a lot, man. So we definitely crossed paths because I know you guys had a few dogs there that were like very friendly on like the actual fob.
Yeah. Was it Rash got a little puppy? They called her Nika. And this fucking dog, out of all the hooches in the PB, it would find my hooch and take a piss in it. And dude, every time I would go into my freaking hooch, there's a huge pile of piss, man. And I tried to find this damn dog, and I couldn't do anything because it's Rash's dog. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of funny. We got in a gunfight, man, and the dog had followed us because we were training her up. Tried to be one of those spotters for us. We got in this gunfight. We were coming back from PB Garrett. We just made phone calls, and one of the snipers ends up shooting at us. We end up taking cover in this ditch, and everyone just unloads, man. And all I remember is hearing Nika bark, 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 while this like entire freaking squad is just unleashing hell. They're just bark, bark, bark. We never saw her again, but she ended up running away, man. That was one of them. That was one of the dogs.
Yep. We were always on the road. That was another one with IEDs. We took contact here and there, but IEDs for us being weapons, were always on the road. So it was one of those shitty situations. We took over a fob for about maybe 2-3 weeks with for golf. They ended up leaving the fob. We took care of the fob. They went out. I forgot what the whole operation was, but that was a shit show because it was muddy. It was the rainy season. It was early.
Green Monster, Operation Green Monster.
That's what it might have been because we took over their little AO for the one spot, and it was just shitty, man. I remember that hump, friggin' Lieutenant Fink just yelling at me for not having my MVGs down. I'm like, dude, I can see fucking everything. Like, I don't need I have a 240, my rucksack's full of fucking ammo. I'm like, I'm humping pretty much everything. I have none of my own personal shit in there. I don't have a sleeping system. I have everything because I think I'm going to go fucking die at some point. I want to have enough ammunition for my 240. And this motherfucker, while we're humping down the fucking way, going through these fucking poppy fields, is like, put your MVGs down. I'm like, dude, no. I was like, I can't. I'm sorry. I can see perfectly fine. And we're hopping all the waddies and shit. I was just so stupid. Then Barry's yelling at me. He's like, you can't fucking talk to him that way. I'm like, I don't fucking, I was already past the point. I'm like, he's a fucking butter bar. Fuck him.
Amen.
Dude,
Amen.
I rarely in 09, I rarely at night would use my MVG. I mean, there was a lot of times so much just ambient light. You could, once your eyes adjust, you could see shit. And with the way the terrain was, like, that shit fucks your depth perception up bad, dude. Like, I fell when we first inserted there, we were doing like just, patrols to get used to the, our little AO around this fucking shithole we were staying in. And not knowing like how they implemented IEDs at the time, I literally like was on a patrol, was doing just the routine check my six where you kind of, every few paces spin around, look behind you, turn around. I fucking sink into this hole in the middle of the road, dude. And I didn't know what the fuck it was at the time, but I had my MVGs on and I couldn't fucking see shit. I couldn't even see it, but I'm like literally chest deep in this hole, this fucking, perfectly circular hole. And I was just like, what the fuck? Didn't get hurt or anything, crawl out of it. And I'm like, flagging the people behind me. I'm like, watch out for that hole and shit. And then like later on in the deployment, I was like, holy fuck, that was probably a fucking, a site they were prepping to fucking put an IED in probably before we got there. Cause it was like in eye shot of a post. There's no way somebody could have done, put that in when we were there. But I'm just like, after that, I was just like, fuck these MVGs, dude. Like if shit pops off and I need to fucking put them on, then I'll put them on.
I never had any good. It just, once you kind of get common sense has to be used. Like a lot of people are like that. Again, schooled out gunny and a butter bar. It's like nothing against it. It's their job at that time. And it's just, they're going by the book. I get it, but.
Right. If I can see well enough to, see what's within 100 meters or so or anything, like I love doing night ranges and like shooting with MVGs on. It was a shit, but like I'm like, I have to fucking walk, and this shit to walk through is not easy. A lot of times you're either in sticky ass fucking mud or there's little dirt rows everywhere in these fields that are elevated, and you're gonna eat shit.
Yeah. And you're humping a shitload of it's just stupidity, but what are you gonna do? Do you guys remember more? I don't know, of more like your first tour compared to your second tour? Because I remember a lot more of 2009 and 2011 a lot of the times trying to think of stuff.
It's sporadic, man. My issue is over time I've had to like push it down, shove it down.
Yeah.
And not just the bad, but all of it. I think it was like 2016. No. It's like 2014, 2015. I used to think flashbacks were a fucking joke until I found myself having one going to get a haircut at Great Clips. And part of the problem was not releasing or talking about it because I tried to like forget about all that stuff because I didn't know what to do with all that. So you do 3 tours and it's like, oh yeah, that was a thing that I did. No, you just can't walk away like that. Anyway, so that's kind of been like my issue. But I get like random images and thoughts. Not random, but it's just like stuff that's like in a cycle. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
And then like I don't remember going into Kandahar. I don't remember that shit. I don't remember that bus, like the bus ride or anything like that. Like I don't remember stuff like that. Probably because I don't know, man. It's kind of weird.
Shutting it out.
Yeah. I remember like the big events, the small events, man, it takes a lot. I think I was telling Paulie, man, I have to drink I don't normally drink. I'm like a hardcore on PT, but I have to drink a lot in order to go ahead and recall that stuff. It's like
I'm on this Sober October thing right now, so I'm not happy.
Yeah, I'm doing that shit too.
Fucking hate it.
No,
It's
it's
5 days, or what was today? The 7th? Yeah. Fuck.
is it the no? It's not even the 7th yet.
7th? No, what day is it?
The 6th.
It is the 6th. Yeah, it's been 6 days.
Don't get too far ahead of yourself. You'll just let yourself down, man.
That's all right.
No, with me
this month, so keep me in line.
With me, you know, and I've talked about this before, and I know it's probably not the best way to do it, but I try to, and I was, you know, I've told Herrera this shit. I try to like relive as much of it as I can, like from boot camp to I got out, just like actually, you know, sequentially go through and try to remember like events, insignificant ones. Obviously, the significant ones are easy, but I just don't want to, like, that was such a good and bad time in my life. I don't want to like lose those memories.
Yeah.
But you know, you can jam yourself up and get in a bad spot, you know, if doing it that way. But obviously for me, I didn't go on 11. So Ramadi was kind of just honestly like it was like CAX 2.0 was what we call it. It was just we did a fuck ton of patrolling. It was great for us learning like the radio and stuff like that. Like really, I think helped prepare us and get us ready for something like that. But I just remember like funny fucked up stories from Ramadi, which are good too. I like those are like obviously the favorite ones. The deployment stories aren't always the best to, you know, tap into, but I loved it all. I cherish it all and shit. So
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. How about you? You think about 09 more than 11 or?
Yeah, I think 09 just because 09 was more in a fucked up way. It was more fun. I don't know. Like we're talking about getting all fired up. That made me fired up thinking about that friggin' CAX friggin' formation, just getting word that we're all going with everybody just going. I don't know. It was just a cool moment. That I don't know. 09 was a lot different compared to 11 because 11 it was just like fuck. I was just here.
Yeah. I mean, with 2009, I mean, I especially where I was at, the platoon I was with, and like where we were located, I honestly felt like we could just do whatever the fuck we wanted. I mean, we pretty much did, apart from, you know, being ridiculous, but like we didn't have really many hires around us where we were at, and we just kind of, I don't know, it was weird. Like everybody jokes about it being the Wild West, but it kind of like was for us. We just were OFP really. We did our shit, and then even when we pushed up to the company, we were down at a bridge a lot of the time in this shithole building that the company had blown to pieces earlier on in the deployment, and like that place was it was terrible. It was shitty conditions to live at, but like it was just like do whatever. We're cooking, me and this dude Colt James, homie of mine, fucking her, cooking up potato like every night. We got this little kitchen set up with oil, and like we're just living like Hajis in the dirt, dude. It was great. I loved it. I just loved that shit. But yeah, man, it is what it is. You know, mileage may vary, and that's kind of the thing with everything. And that's what's good to talk with dudes about and like be like, what was it like for you? Because like I told you, I had no fucking idea we even had cat like to our fucking west.
Yeah, man. We were just living out in the desert. We were just living in the desert like it was like living in an RV.
Yeah.
Sleeping on the ground. It was just living in an RV pretty much, but a Hummer. A friggin' damn Humvee, friggin' yeah, man. Friggin' it was shitty at times when it got cold at night. It was shitty, but like a lot of the times it was just very chill. And it was always fun. Like you kind of like, I'm gonna go take a walk over to Tracy's truck, or I'm gonna go over to Range's. Like everybody just kind of mingles. So you kind of go, hey, what the fuck you guys doing? Like play dominoes or cards, like under a low lit light and whatnot. But it was a lot of fun, man. It was just, you lived out in the middle of nowhere. And it was funny too, because like I tried to tell my girl Deanna about it. Like nighttime was peaceful. Like granted, you're on watch, you're a little bit more alert, but like to the west behind us, there was nothing, just desert for miles. But obviously the green zone was to the east. And it was just crazy because it was pretty at night. I don't know. It was very peaceful at night. And then a lot of times you see whoever's up in the turret with a iPod going, probably jacking it to some Brazzers porn, but I know I was half the time.
Yeah, dude. Dude,
So
and
in
that's
our truck, we had the rule. It was me, McCaslin, and Stroud, and Sergeant Wilgis. I think he got. I don't know if he's still in, but he's a staff sergeant. I heard he became a career planner. But after a while, we had it between myself, Stroud, and McCaslin, where we only used Wilgis's iPod during watch because he didn't want to stand watch as a staff sergeant, or he was a sergeant at that time. So, all right, motherfucker, you want to stand watch with us? Like, all right, we're gonna get you back in our own little ways. So we used to drain his iPod. So by the time he would have to go down post or the next day to just kind of chill out, his iPod's dead. We're like, yeah, fuck you. And he knew he never would say anything. Fucking asshole.
The prices you
dude,
pay.
that's a weird thing too. I mean, we talk about, like you said, at night. I do remember, like, especially getting towards like the end after the really hot part, you know, with that deployment, like at night, it started like the temperature drop at night was fucking insane, dude. Like you could be
It was
literally
September, October time frame.
Yeah. It was like, dude, you go from sweating balls to literally having to put like a fucking hoodie on to sleep and shit.
Dude, the night of the operation, man. Like that night, we all went to the helo pads. Oh
Yeah.
my God, dude. I was so fucking cold. I've never been that cold.
We're laying
my
in the
life.
dirt. Yeah.
Yes, dude. I regretted not bringing anything. I was just like, I can't believe this shit. I could not.
I had
believe
that
it.
nice, it was like that half hoodie that had the zipper here, that had the neck thing. And then I had my beanie at all times. It was always in my day pack, man. That thing was as a boot, that was always with me.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, but like you were saying, I mean, that place, like, honestly, if it wasn't for the shitty things that were going on there, like, it was a beautiful place.
Yeah.
You know, if you could just be there and not have to worry about anything or fighting or anything and just like look at it, like look at it's just like, I don't know. It's weird. But
I miss it. That's the weird thing is every now and then I miss it. It's weird. I hate that. It's a weird feeling to explain to D2 a lot of times, or even like some of my buddies if we're on the road, they'll just randomly, if we were drinking or whatnot, ask me questions. That's kind of usually when I loosen up and I'll kind of like, oh yeah, it reminds me of this, but like, yeah, a lot of the times you're like, oh, like how was Afghanistan? Like I miss it. Like there's times I miss that 09 deployment where it was just, life was simpler and you didn't have to worry about shit back home. You don't have to pay bills. It was you guys at the truck. Well, for me, it was just us at the truck every day, make sure everybody's good and just go on to the next day.
yeah, for
Have you
sure.
ever thought about going back in?
A part of me did. Actually, when Kabul and all that just hit up, I actually got a text from one of my buddies for a private contract, and it really, I was tempted. It was a good amount of, and the money is what tempted me the worst. It was to go help too, but like, fuck, that's good money. But
I'm not paying as much as they used to.
No, but still, it was one of those things that like just sparked in my head to go. And of course, Deanna's like, don't even think about it. You have wrestling 2 weeks. And I'm like, I'll be gone for 10 days and I'll be back. And she's like, no, you won't. I'm like, all right, you're right. But parts of me have, though, like when wrestling, I don't know, wrestling kind of took over my world once I got out, because I was going to school on the GI Bill and that was fun. But like wrestling took over everything. And I sunk my teeth into wrestling.
Yeah, how did you fall into this?
I had a few buddies that wrestled on the independents while I was even in high school. And my buddy Jarrett one time, so in Rutherford is a dry town, but you're allowed to sell alcohol. And then you have East Rutherford, who's next to us across the train tracks, which has all the bars and restaurants. So literally it's just right next to each other. So Railroad Cafe is there, Blarney and Park Tavern are the three major bars kind of in that from both towns. Kind of everybody goes there from that area. And one time I was home on a weekend. I drove up to 10 hours to Jersey to visit family, going way out of bounds. I think everybody did that type of shit at some point.
Yeah.
So my buddy Jarrett's like, hey, you want to meet a guy from WWE? He's here hanging out. I'm like, fuck yeah. And of course, I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't I? Like, he knew I loved wrestling. He was an independent wrestler while we were in high school and whatnot, and even tried to get me into it forever. So I meet Darren Young, who's now Fred Rosser now, but he was with WWE at that time. And we just kind of were sitting there. I was like shaking his hand. And like, I was taken back because he's like not much bigger than me. So like, I'm expecting a bigger person to be like 6'4", 265. And like, I'm just sitting there like, oh, all right. Like, of course you're going to size the guy up being a friggin' Marine and all motard and everything. I'm just like, all right, it's not that big. And then it ended up being a nice guy and hanging out. And we were just kind of talking for a while. And he got the idea in my head. He's like, you should really give this a try once you get out. He's like, if you plan on not staying in the military. I was like, all right. And it just stuck in my head. And no matter what, I was always still watching wrestling in the barracks. I always found a way to watch WrestleMania. And it was just something that stuck with me from when I was little from my grandparents. And once he got that idea in my head, I was like, oh, maybe that's something I can do eventually at some point, because the landscape changed from the Hulk Hogan's, the Stone Colds, the Undertakers, the larger than life characters to now it's a more athletic base. Everybody's kind of been humanized since the cat's out of the bag that wrestling is obviously premeditated and predictated. It's not fake. It's a movie. You're watching real life movie happen in front of you on stage, but the stage is the ring. And so when I got out of the Marine Corps and when I was denied for my MESEP package because of tattoo policy, I said, well, I'll just go to college and let me give wrestling a shot while I'm going to school. And I did that. I found the Monster Factory in Paulsboro, New Jersey. It was just maybe 40 minutes away. 30 minutes from my parents' house in Sicklerville while I was going to Rowan University during the day. And it was great because I would go to school during the day. I'd work out during my lunchtime. And then as soon as I got done with my night class, I go right to the factory and train. And I started there it started there technically in August of 2012. They brought in Gerald Briscoe the following summer of 2013 in July. He's a talent scout at that time for WWE. And I was just getting ready to just kind of branch out and do the indies and get my name out there because I was green. So I didn't know what I was doing half the time. So I was like, all right, I did my course here. I need to go out and branch out and try to learn shit on my own. And that's the only way to get better in wrestling anyway, is just getting out there and wrestling different styles and getting to know people in places and have that like networking. He came in, did the tryout, and he said, don't go anywhere else. Stick to the basics. I'll take care of you. Yes, sir. Like, why wouldn't you listen to that? It's Joe Briscoe, Hall of Famer. And with a month later, I got the email saying I was selected for a tryout. Did that in August of 2013. And then I was slated to do extra work in October. And as I was on my way to Buffalo to do extra work for a pay-per-view Raw and Smackdown, I got the call that I was hired. And then I moved to Orlando in 2014 or December of 2013 and started in January of 2014 at the Performance Center with NXT. So
Wow.
Quick journey, but like a long journey altogether. And then I was with WWE for seven and a half years before I left. And now I'm with Impact Wrestling. So
how competitive is that? Like I bet that's pretty it's got to be hardcore, man. Like cutthroat.
It's competitive, man. It's pretty competitive. In the cutthroat aspect of it is you have to find that gimmick that's gonna like obviously sell. You're a product. You're on TV, and WWE is a television show. It's entertainment, and that's what they sell. It's not like AEW now, which is more of the wrestling show. If you tune into that. And Impact Wrestling as well. Impact's based on characters, but it still really goes off of the wrestling as well. WWE is more on the entertainment side. They're trying to sell you a product, and they're building towards pay-per-views and then WrestleMania. And that's just pretty much what it is. And they're more family-based, while most other companies are broad spectrum. But yeah.
Dude, that shit. I grew up like big into wrestling, you know, just like all Hacksaw Jim Duggan, you know, Bret the Hitman Hart, the Road Warriors, freaking everything. Like I just loved that growing up, and then it kind of got out of it, but I still, you know, like you were saying now, I think a lot of the moves back then were probably sold a little more than what you're seeing now. Cause obviously because of you and knowing you, like I'm following your page and the Impact page, and I'm like these dudes are like literally doing moves to each other that could potentially like end their career, you know, like, or their life. Like some of the like big complex, you know, pile driver type moves where you're like jacking somebody's neck, and that's your full body weight and their body weight. I'm like, how common are like the in like serious injuries like that?
It's what's funny is a lot of injuries happen on the simpler things in wrestling. I've noticed in my experience, it's like something just so stupid where it's not even a pile driver or going through a table that's on fire. It happens on a simple reversal and a rope breaks, or a simple, like just like a misstep or a rolled ankle, or blown knee. Like it's just weird, like how it works. But that's also where the training comes in, being prepared. And like I said,
Yeah.
dude, for how we were trained in the Marine Corps compared to wrestling, it's very, very, very similar. And I had somebody at one time, I did an article for the Miami Herald, and if just fans started coming at me like, "Oh, you don't know shit. How that's so stupid to say it's just like the military." I was like, "Well, I was in the Marine Corps. I trained from boot camp all the way through and deployments. It's very similar. Like you have to know, like everything goes down to your basics." And it's all wrestling really is too. It's like once you get good at the basics, you build off of that. And that's just how you start to learn the different styles. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. Then you find out what works for you and your body type. And then you have to learn to work with styles that work with everybody. Like I'm lucky enough for my height and weight is I can work with big guys and I can work with little guys. And it's a lot of fun. I don't have to dumb myself down at times because I can just kick and punch and base half the time if I have to. If a guy is smaller than me and can do all the flips and flops, I don't need to do that because I'm not going to do it any better than they can.
Right. So obviously there's like you said, it's kind of like a live movie and you're still out there putting these moves on each other and it's very obviously very athletic of a sport to be involved in. But I feel like there has to be this acting component. Yeah. Obviously a big one. So where did you find that in yourself, or had you always been that, like as a kid growing up, like to put on shows and stuff for people? Or
no, like I just always was into wrestling. So like I just think a lot of good wrestlers were usually the biggest fans too, where you learn how certain cells or certain things. Like I always tap into just kind of, all right, why is he doing this? Like I don't like it's weird. Like I take more pride in selling if I take something or give something. Like it's a movie aspect. And Nick Dinsmore, he used to wrestle as Eugene. He was kind of the disabled guy that did everybody's moves. I don't remember Eugene. He was one of the first people in a ring that told me, he goes, just think of how in Back to the Future, when Biff pulls out friggin' the dad out of the car, hits the mom, he throws him down, like how the cut scenes happen, like where it's like they shoot to the fist, then they shoot the face, then they shoot him and he's balling it up. Like that's how that theater aspect comes into it. Cause you got to realize if you're sitting there as a fan, you're watching, like you're seeing what's going on and you're just like, oh, okay. And it takes time to just have stuff register.
Right.
So I don't know, with the selling, I love that part of wrestling, and that's the fun part.
Well, I mean that too, but obviously at some point, especially if you're climbing the ladder, to get to the top, you got to speak. And I think you do that very well in the clips I've seen, and I think that's got to be a challenging part of it, right? Like delivering it the right way. And, I don't know. I think some people just have that and they don't, but
what's hard is like when you're handed a script, and like when we were on Smackdown, even NXT, like, hey, we want you to say this, this, and this, like, and it's literally a paragraph, and you're like, shit, here comes my CTE and my IAD memory. Like, I can't remember half of the shit. Like, as long as you can pick all right, what do you like? Well, Smackdown, it's all right. What does Vince want you to say? Like, what did Vince want you to get in here? And a lot of times with a writer, you work together. Like, I don't know if I would say it this way, but this is kind of how I would say it. And this is how you would write it down, or you tell him, like, you work together in that way. But a lot of times, like nowadays, like Vince wants you to say it verbatim, and you got to get good at verbatim reading off the paper and memorizing. And a lot of times you're getting handed something and then it's taken away, and then you come back and then it's got like a less paragraph or a more paragraph, and you're about to go out through the curtain. So that's where like you're getting your fundamentals down. So that just comes in reps of you doing promos on your own. And when I started getting into wrestling, and I still do it every now and then, I was doing it today when I was cutting the lawn, I'll just start talking. Like I'll cut promos on the dogs. Like I just kind of go into my own brain. And like, it's just, I look probably like a psychopath, but it's how you gotta get it out of you. You can't just say it to yourself. You have to verbally say it. And like a lot of times I'll be doing promos and I'm like, that sounded like shit. And it's just one of those things. But like now I have since I left WWE and now I'm with Impact, I have a lot of freedom on my own, which I love. So a lot of the promos, it's just me being me. I have a promo coming out, I think next week, because the last tapings we did, the one promo, I brought up how like ribbon chasers, like I kind of compared a ribbon chaser and how certain I'm trying to bring me into it and then kind of correlate how I've taken the Punisher style gimmick and make it my own. And like, all right, now I'm like, I have to find something that makes a weakness in somebody else. And I brought up ribbon chasers, and I'm trying to compare it so it's kind of realistic, but then it's still pro wrestling. And like, that's where you have to toy with ideas. And I love it because I get the freedom to just talk the way I want to talk.
Yeah, no, I've loved everything I've seen. I'm a big Punisher fan too, and I picked up on that right when I saw it. You know, you move over and start doing this. I'm like, oh, you're gonna be able to do this well because you know it's not a departure from who you technically have been in your past. So
Yeah, because even when we were the Forgotten Sons, like it was great because Blake and I, when we started tagging, when we pitched the idea of who the Forgotten Sons were, is like we literally became best friends. Maybe my third day at the Performance Center, we met at one of the local bars. Everybody was there. Hey, come grab a beer. I'm like, oh, cool. All right. We're there, and we just started chatting. He's from Texas, and we just kind of like hit it off as like friends, like because he had a cousin in the Navy and then the Air Force. So it was just kind of cool to like just small talk that way. And then we just became really best friends, and we were always in the car together riding. It was me, him, Buddy Murphy, and Alex at that time. And it was just, we're always on the road. So we're always just sharing stories and sharing ideas. And that's kind of how wrestling turns into like a lot of the ways, like you go to the senior guy, like, all right, he's been doing this a little bit here. He knows the ways here. You kind of talk. Then you find your little bit of a bubble of guys that you know you can trust and be honest with too. Like, hey, what'd you think of this? Like, no, it was shit. Like, you should do it this way. Like, but it's a performance. So like a lot of times people will just be like, oh no, it was great. Like doing a good job. And it's just like, you already know it's bullshit. Like, and then most of the time after a while, you kind of leave a ring, you kind of know when something works and something doesn't. And then a lot of times, like you'll leave a match. Like I've had a few matches where I'm like, I hated that match completely. And then when I watch it back on TV, and I'm like, oh, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought. It was different feel.
yeah.
No, it's weird.
Yeah, I read in one of your I was reading your little, you know, on your Instagram story where you have your fans like ask questions and stuff. I was just reading through one of them, and you were talking about something about you getting sick before your matches.
Oh, I puke every time.
Do you really?
It's weird, man. It happened to me in high school football growing up. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, I just get this like tightness here, and like it gets right into my throat. I can't breathe. I have to hack. So like I try not to eat a lot during the day because I know what's going to happen later on before my match because it's always terrible. But I'll friggin' just sit there. I have the little friggin' the wisps. You remember the Crest things where they got the little toothpaste things? I have one with me while I'm in Gorilla because I know I'm going to puke. And I have bubble gum. So I'll go yak my brains out, mouthwash, brush my teeth real quick, throw in a couple mints or gum, and then I'm all right, out the curtain.
Oh,
it's awful, man. It's awful. It's so bad.
You know, I've read or I've heard like UFC fighters that happens a lot, like just fighting nerves or whatever. Like that's a pretty common thing. A lot of people.
And that's my warm up. Like I don't really warm up much before a match. I really should. Like I do a few air squats here and there. I'll like lay on my back and do some crunches to fart out a little bit. But like other than that, that's really my warm up because I'm so into like calling the match, trying to like while we're calling it or talking to each other, like, hey, you're good on this, you're good on this. Because a lot goes into TV wrestling compared to a live event. Like, because you have to worry about times, you have to worry about like if something gets cut, what do I do? And most of the times I'm kind of the leader in that as a heel, being a bad guy. I'm usually calling the match in the ring.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things you just have to always be on the ball.
Dude, that's crazy. That's a crazy. I know you told me a while back, you were just like, man, just kind of like very appreciative of where like how wrestling has made you a better person just because of like the things like different communities you get to experience and places you get to have gotten to travel, and you want to go into a little bit of that. Like have you gone international?
Yeah, so NXT, we did Download Festival in the UK, and that was talk about awesome. I could care less about like it was fun to perform the first match, and then after that I went to every concert I could go to.
Yeah.
So like after a while, like as soon as you're done, you're just stripping off your gear, putting on rain boots because it was all muddy, and then you're going to see friggin' Manson was there. Manson, I'm having a brain fart. Guns N' Roses, Manson, Shinedown. I'm trying to think of the one stage. They were there. What the hell's the name of the other band that I loved? Well, I can't even name the band. Parkway Drive was on one of the bands.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't even think of the band. So we get done with a segment. It was me, Blake, and Aleister Black. He's now Malachi Black at AEW. Get done wrestling a segment against each other. Literally walk right through the curtain. You good? You good? We change real quick and then go right to the front row of friggin' Park Drive, just so we didn't have to miss it. But like, it was one of those cool like things because it was a 3-day festival. All these bands, you get done wrestling, you're hanging out. Everybody was just kind of just chill, and it was over in the UK, and I've never been to the UK before. And get like the first day, we kind of had a day of like pretty much liberty the first day where we got there early and like, all right, let's go sightseeing and do things.
Yeah.
And talk about just getting shit faced. So it's just, you just went ham. And I remember we ended up at a strip club and it was like pretty much just being back in Jacksonville in a way. It reminded me of like going to the cave where it's like, you're just going to hang out at the strip club, not even for the strippers, just because they have a pool table and it's just good drinks. And like, we're just sitting there like, oh, do you want to dance? Like, no, I'm just here to drink. Like,
And you can get a good meal.
you're like, screw, go bang a boot. You'll steal his money. It was a good time, man, because then we got to go to Paris and then Hamburg, Germany, or Hamburg. That is not Germany. I forget where that is. I don't know. Somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
But it was just really cool to just be over there. See, like Paris was like, man. But like, it was more impressive to wrestle on the area we wrestled in Paris just because it was like an old circus rink. So like no AC in the building. We got dressed in the stalls that the animals used to live in. Like it was pretty cool. And like the entire thing was the regular circle of a rink. And like the seats kind of like went up a little bit steeper. And it just, once all the fans were there, it just smelled. It was hot.
How did they, are they pretty big into pro wrestling over there or
yeah,
are they really?
UK is a very like that entire fan base over there. They're diehard. Like if you ever get to watch any of like NXT UK or any of the pay-per-views and stuff from when WWE is there, like they're really into it. Like a lot of the old NXT, when NXT did the one takeover there, the crowd just, they're singing like they're at their football games. It's insane. And they're a different fan base and they're awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, so UK was there. Yeah, I've wrestled there and then just pretty much all over the States.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
What's your favorite spot?
Paris was one of my favorite. To wrestle in the venue, just because I was in the ring with 3 of my best friends in the wrestling world, was a lot of fun. And it was just such an easy match and everything worked. That was one of those memorable ones. And I love that my buddy Tucker's just like that. I'm like, dude, it was just everything in my own world clicked. It was just a cool moment. And there, Milwaukee was cool because Plutz and Stuckey came to the show. And they were front row, and Blake and I were heels. So we're getting booed out of the building. Then Plutz and Stucks are sitting there front row, and they're shit-faced. And, of course, on the entrance, friggin', we weren't supposed to win that match either until later on. We got told, hey, you guys are going up in this. Just roll them up out of somewhere, and you get some heat. Well, okay, cool. And then we came back later on at the end of the show and got bumped around, and baby faces sent the crowd home happy. But they're handing beers during the entrance and whatnot. And even after the match, it was just fun, man. They came in the back, and that's one of those cool ones too, because I hadn't seen both of them since 2011, like 2010, 2011 time frame. I want to say before our second tour in 11 was the last time I saw Plutz and Stucks when they asked. Milwaukee was good. Riverside in California was really good. They're a cool crowd. And then so far at Impact, the tapings have been fun with the crowds there.
Yeah, how was last year? I mean, for you guys. I mean,
dude,
with COVID
wrestling
and
in front of, so it was weird because like Smackdown, when we did it, you have commentary out there and then you have everybody there. So like you could, it's just filming like in a movie scene. It wasn't live, so it was taped.
Yeah.
Granted, Impact does the same too, but it was like you heard commentary, so there's still noise. When I debuted at Impact, it was weird because like here I am trying a new gimmick. I have no idea what I want to do for my entrance yet, or my demeanor of how I want to kind of like, I kind of have the idea of what I want, but I'm like, you usually get the feeling from the crowd and you kind of can feed off of it. And it was just weird because I made the comparison to Scott D'Amore and then Deanna, we were having a conversation and we're sitting there and like, hey, he's like, how'd everything go? I'm like, I really thought that's what porn probably feels like. I was like, 'cause you just have like, you go out, like it really, I'm like, this is how porn has to fucking feel. There's just guys with cameras. You're out there just sweaty. You got oil on. You're wrestling around. You hit your finish, and then you leave. I'm like, it was just one of those weird moments. I'm like, wow, this is what a porn star has to definitely feel like.
You're like, I like it.
Something doesn't go right. I come right back out and do it again.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, but no fans was very weird. And then that's the one thing, like I did an indie show once I got let go, and it was up in Boston area for Beyond Wrestling, and it was awesome because it was the first time seeing and feeling fans in a long time. And here I am again coming out as a heel, and I don't know how I was going to get perceived being a former WWE guy, and now here I'm on the Indies. And I just came up, and as soon as I heard people, I'm just looking at people, I'm like, let's fucking go. Like, yes, I feel like it's just good to feel people again, because it's just like I said, it's just weird without fans. You're just going through them. You're just doing choreography, like not choreography, but you're just doing stunts in a way.
Right.
There's
You're not getting the energy or anything from.
And that's a test too to a lot of talent. I think that's made a lot of talent step up now too, and it's a learning experience that way as well. Like how to just turn it on, and sometimes you're gonna have to turn it on in front of 3 people, no people, or thousands of people.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those weird things, man. That's why it's fun.
I can only imagine. That's crazy.
What's your regimen like, man? Like, what's your training schedule like?
I have a boring life, man. We noticed that once COVID hit, when we were quarantined. Wow, we were socially distanced all the time. Because like literally, it's just I wake up, it's gym, it's housework and hang out with the dogs. So I just eat a lot.
Chew their asses when you're fucking.
I know.
Practicing. I can just picture you in the backyard just ripping your dog's ass.
Yeah.
Your neighbors are probably like, oh shit.
I remember the performance center, we used to have the mirror. Well, I don't know if they still have it, but they had the mirror room. When you go in, you cut promos, a soundproof room, you hit that thing in your camera and you can watch your promos back. And you used to have to do like 1 or 2 daily. It was like the requirement. And at the beginning, I remember just doing stupid knife hand shit. And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't be so hokey with it.
You got to keep yourself in check.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not that guy. You're not that guy, pal.
So obviously you keep yourself busy though with that. And that's something, we talk a lot with, combat veterans about, just purpose, having purpose and keeping yourself busy, doing something productive. Is there anything, I mean, obviously you work out, daily or, however your regimen is, that I feel like that's something for a lot of guys, kind of helps get them through difficult times and, keeps their head in the right place. Is there anything different that you do or find yourself doing to keep you squared away?
No, it's just like, we'll get out. Like now that the movies are opening back up, it's good to go and kind of like disconnect that way. Top Golf is fun to go do. We got one not too far from here. Like we have Disney passes. Like granted, I don't know if everybody gets the benefit of being able to do that, but if you're in Florida and you're close to Disney, like the Disney pass, once you buy it and use it twice, it's worth it. Right. You're gonna get your money's worth. And we just even go to walk around Disney, not even ride rides sometimes, just to kind of just go and grab food and then just kind of hang out. But yeah, my regimen is just literally I wake up, lift, eat, run. I still run a lot. I finally started getting back into running when my knees feel good. Yeah, I've been standoffish going to this one VFW. I want to go, but I feel like I'm still too young to go to the VFW. As weird as that is, but it looks so like inviting because it's like such a nice built place, and it's maybe not 15 minutes down the road a little bit from me. It's like I want to go in there, but then I don't want to just get drunk on 25-cent beers because I'll be there every day then.
Yeah,
you should go, man. There's not that many. Well, I think the last time I looked, there was like less than 90,000 World War II guys left. The Korea guys are, I think the largest demographic right now are Vietnam guys, and they're not going to be around that long in terms of like the age.
Yeah, because I even dealt with that when I was transferring from the VA in Jersey area to down here and up, and now it's a city. The VA hospital down here in Orlando is beautiful. If you ever get the chance to go there, we did a few visits there during WWE's Tribute to the Troops weeks. And I was always tasked for it. I always just was like, throw me on everything you can do. And that was a lot of fun to go see the vets there. And, but when I got here and I was just trying to get re-registered, it was I don't know. I feel awkward when I go into the VA. So I'm walking in like just healthy and I'm just trying to get my information in there, but I'm like, there's more people that need to be in here than me. I don't know. I still get that feeling. don't know if you guys do.
Yeah, that's the kind of the grunt curse where we don't want our problems to be anybody else's. You just suck it up and keep pushing forward. But that's not, unfortunately, that's not the right way for everybody. But that's kind of instilled in us. You don't want to be the problem. You want to be part of the solution. And when you're on your own, or not on your own, but when you're, are on your own, technically in the world, we're living in the world away from each other. You don't have your squad, you don't have your people to make sure you're straight and notice things in you that you might not in yourself. So you got to kind of go in there and, make sure somebody knows what's going on with you.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. D made me, I kept getting them on Instagram. I don't know about the earplugs.
3M. Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, I applied for it, talked to a lawyer, I'm still waiting on it because my left ear is like certain times I can't hear anything. If we're in a lot of times, even in arenas and stuff, I can't hear. Like I have to say, like, hey, say it again. Like,
yeah, Jose was just talking about that with his hearing last weekend after we did a podcast. Have you had a hearing test done from the VA?
Yeah, I got, that's part of my percentage when I got out, which is good because I know I have tinnitus. They even said it then. And it's one of those things where I'm like, it's just gradually starting to now kind of get worse.
Yeah, go back and get retested because that's something. Hearing loss is something that is not just like tinnitus is just a locked in thing. And most of us that were around some loud noises, but as far as hearing loss goes, that's, you need to go, if you're noticing stuff, you need to go get that retested.
It's usually her noticing more than me.
Right. You're yelling, you're loud as fuck.
I'm just like, I can't, I'll just give me a minute. I'll be there in a second. I'll listen to you. Cause like, she'll be in the next room. Like normally, like I can hear, but if it's just, there's a certain decibel. I remember when I even got to the VA and they just said, yeah, you weren't hearing at this decibel. And a lot of times it's like a high pitch. So if like we're in a room and like are at a party or a bar and you're trying to talk, I can't so glad I wasn't single for a long time after I split with my ex. Because trying to talk to somebody in a bar or pick somebody up nowadays, I'd have been like, sorry, I'm deaf. Probably would have been a good way to go. They're like, hey, I can't really hear. Let's step outside.
Yeah.
Probably would have worked in the benefit, but yeah, no.
That 2011 pump, man, I always had those crappy 3M earplugs halfway in, just so that I could hear. And once we get in a gunfight, man, I'd slap that fucker in right in my left ear, man, because that was like the worst one. And then I'd just go. That was like a check that I had to do. And then go.
Yeah. No, I had them on me. I just every now and then, like after a while, start wearing them. I was like, I can't hear anything anyway. I don't know.
Yeah. I was telling this guy, man, that this one goes off, and it's like I start getting disorientated, man, and I'm like, oh man, like this can't be good. I just turned 34, and this can't be happening right now. Like I haven't
we're all pretty much the same age.
Yeah, man. I'm not. No, our ears are probably, 70, 80-year-olds.
Yeah.
And that's just part of it. I mean, I honestly did the same thing with that you're talking about with the earplug lawsuit.
Yeah.
And I got involved. I saw that. And this was like early on when it first started coming out. I'm like, let me see about this. Cause dude, I never wore them. And I was a 51, dude. The small is the loudest ground infantry weapon. Like I'm deaf at range 410 in CAX. I literally remember firing a rocket at one of the targets, like up on Machine Gun Hill, because it saw me go up there too, and it blew both the earplugs out of my ears because we had our like rock behind us. The back blast was clear, but there was obstructions, and we got some of that pressure, dude. I blacked out for a second. My earplugs got blown out of my ears, and I was like slumped with the gun in my shoulder. And then I like came to, and I'm like, I hit the target, but I'm like, fuck, dog. But after that, really, unless they required them on range, I never wore them. I never wore them in combat. Like you got to be able to fucking talk to each other, and whether you're deaf from the shots going off or not, like I don't know. They didn't, and come to find out they didn't fucking work anyway because there was a design flaw with them. So. But I did all that, and then they sent me this contract back, and I'm not an idiot, and I read through it, all of the fine details, and it basically, like whatever like law firm this was basically saying any expenditures that we have are going to come out of your your payoff amount or whatever, they want to deem you deserve for hearing loss issues or whatnot. And it was literally everything, like travel expenses, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, these fuckers are just going to live the life off of my fucking service. I'm like, nah, bro, cancel it. And then they were like hitting me up forever, trying to be like, reconsider. I'm like, nah, I'm good. You're fucking crooks. You should be ashamed of yourselves for this.
I remember I had the phone call with the lady too. She's like, you remember a lot of things. I was like, yeah, I know where I was. I was like, I can tell you where I deployed, where I went to boot camp, where it's not a hard thing to remember if you can't remember that. But it was just one of those things. I'm like, I know probably a lot of people scam you. I was like, I'm just doing this because I'm getting yelled at by my future wife. And she's like, all right, well, everything you're compensated for comes out of, like you said, though, it comes out of everybody. Like after that, you don't pay anything. I'm like, okay, this is a scam. Nothing's free. So, when you start seeing this shit on like local air TV and did you serve between this and that? I'm like, bro, this, it's bad then. And it's always a celebrity or just some random guy too.
Yeah.
And just like, they got a payday out of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck, I want to get the payday out of that. At least have the vets tell other vets, hey, we're fucking you.
Yeah.
But you're helping me. Oh man.
If you get a hearing aid, it reduces supposedly the ringing in your ear. But those things cost like $3,000-$4,000 a pop.
Yeah, but if your ears are bad, and that's for anybody if you're having hearing problems, if you get hearing loss to a certain percentage, hearing aids are comped by the VA. So
that's good to know.
And I don't think anybody that, no matter what your job was, that was around loud ass shit or gunfire or mortars or anything going off, like go get that shit in check and get hearing aids if you need them or desire. I know it seems like it would be, an inconvenience, but that's one of your fucking senses. And if you're down a sense, your, survivability goes down too with that. I know there's a lot of shit out there too about like hearing loss and like dementia or cognitive related issues. Like when you can't hear, it like exacerbates those issues.
Yeah.
It's just super important. But
I'm gonna have to start wearing hearing pro for my tinnitus, man. Because it's that bad.
Dude, it's weird, man. Honestly, I have like the AirPod.
Sorry to laugh, but that sucks.
Dude, I have the AirPod Pros and like there's like I don't know what the fucking setting is on it, but it's like they're almost like hearing aids. It's weird. And like there's a setting in there where you can have it like enhance while you have them in, it can enhance your surroundings. And I'm like, holy fuck, like I'm hearing shit like something buzzing that you know what I mean? Like a fan or something where I wouldn't hear. It's annoying to me. I shut the shit off, but like check them out. I mean, if you want some earbuds, if you listen to music a lot, get those, dude, because it kind of fucking helps. I know you probably don't want to wear an earbud, all
that's
night
all
long,
the kids,
talking to your wife.
All the kids are these days, bro. They just wear nothing.
Little plum buds.
Yeah, that's all they do. That's all they wear. They walk around, and you think they're talking to you too, because they're like jamming out. And I'm like, oh, you're talking to me? And then it's like they got an ear.
Dude, I hate that. I want to fight people that where I'm like, oh, what'd you say, man? And then they just like walk by and they keep talking to whoever they. And I'm like, I just want to fight them at that point. I don't know why. I'm just like that.
It's those people and the people that listen to music on their speaker, just out loud.
Yeah. Or just walk around in public, like in a gas station on speakerphone and as loud as hell. Like,
yeah,
bro, check that shit.
I'm sorry. I don't want to listen to your conversation. That's why earphones.
All right, dude. I think we're good. We can wrap this up. I want to know one more thing. What's your favorite machine gun and why?
240, man. I humped that on the second tour. I didn't really get it on the first pump, but 240 just because it was fun to just wheel around and nobody could fuck with me. I don't know. I was good at it too. I was a good shot. And I forget the name of the scope they had on it. We got it on the second deployment, but they put the scope on that thing. And I was like, oh my God, you're just making this even easier.
Was it like the big one? Like is it a pretty big? Yeah. I've seen
it. It was pretty much just a giant ACOG.
Yeah.
And it was just, we're friggin' at Hanson and like Gunny Barone at the time was like, hey, go try it out. Like we're going to test some of the weapons and get shots today. It was great because I'm just sitting there with nice tight shoulder pressure, hitting good groupings, a little burst. I'm like, oh my God. This is amazing. But yeah, 240, man. 240 was always fun. Just even an SOI, that was just my fun one to just disassemble and do it one arm or blindfolded. It was always fun to mess around with.
Yeah, 240 has a pretty sound to it. I don't know. I mean, the 50 is badass, obviously, but I don't know. When you hear those things rocking, you're like, all right, we're good to go. We're good to go for a little bit anyway. So these fuckers run out of ammo, but
I'd go with 52nd and then Mark 3rd just because of dealing with the cheese puffs. That made me hate the Mark when we were at ranges and stuff, hitting the friggin' cheese puff rounds, especially at the Hill 400 at CAX. Dude, we're trying to do the friggin' Overwatch for you guys and giving you guys the friggin' security for it, and you're just going pop, 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 jam, misfire. It was a pain in the ass. You're covered in the Cheetos. Fuck that thing, man. Was it fun to shoot regular rounds? Yes, but I just always related to the cheese puffs, and it just bad memories as a boot.
dude, I just couldn't imagine being like on the receiving end of HE from a Mark, dude. That has to be the most terrifying thing. You know what I mean? Just like constant raining explosions all around.
You and our platoon on my second tour had that happen to them. So
Yeah.
Shitty story to bring up, but yeah, I can't imagine either. I wouldn't want to be on that other end. I wouldn't want to. I always think of the 50 cals in the Rambo movie that he did. Was like 07 time frame. I just picture that's what it actually does to them, and I think it does. So
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more Hollywood on that aspect, but
Yeah, maybe a little over dramatized, but
Stallone got that one good though.
well, brother, I appreciate you coming on here and chopping it up with us. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. So
I could sit here and talk for hours. That's the fun part about this. You don't even talk about anything. You just talk old stories and old things jog up in your own memory. And